Best days to view cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C., in 2019. Officials from the National Park Service recently moved the peak date for the Yoshino cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C., forward to April 1 this year, but blooms should hold up into the first week of April. Peak bloom is when approximately 70% or more of the blooms are open. Experts originally anticipated the peak bloom to be a bit later, but by only a few days. A few very warm days during mid-March and recent days, as well as slightly above average temperatures over the winter, will contribute to the slightly earlier peak than average. The average bloom date is April 4, since 1921, when the trees were to the United States. However, what will be the best weather days for the National Cherry Blossom Festival this year? Following the warm and breezy conditions for Saturday's Blossom Kite Festival, the weekend will end on a brisk and much cooler note. Temperatures may fail to reach 60 F on Sunday after flirting with the 80-degree mark on Saturday. Gusty winds will be the weather during the mid to late afternoon hours on Sunday may improve enough to allow the sun to come back out. It is unlikely that Sunday's rain will be heavy enough to significantly damage the blossoms, which are generally the sturdiest just prior to and during peak bloom. As the blossom petals age past peak, they become progressively more fragile and can be more easily damaged by rain and torn away by wind. The anticipated peak bloom is on Monday along the tidal basin. Slightly cooler weather is in store for Monday with highs in the lower to middle 50s. A cool breeze temperatures will rebound slightly on Tuesday as clouds increase ahead of a storm strengthening along the southeast coast. Provided remains far enough offshore during the middle of the week, the next chance of rain after this Sunday would be Friday, April 5th. Wednesday and Thursday would then feature warmer weather and sunny to partly cloudy conditions. However, if that storm hugs the coast, rain and wind could result in the blossoms taking a beating on Tuesday night. To keep an eye on the forecast, and enter Washington, D.C., for the forecast location. How are bloom dates estimated? The average air temperature is a major player in determining spring blooming time. The accumulated number of growing degree days GDD, based on temperature, is used as a rough guide to determine the blossoming and leafing out of trees and shrubs, as well as some changes in animal behavior. The GDD for each day is calculated by taking the average of the high and low temperature for the day minus the base temperature. The base temperature, this spring, the number of accumulated GDD with a base temperature of 32 is far above average for the southeast and slightly above average for part of the mid-Atlantic, but below average in parts of the northwest, plains, and midwest. Where the number remains steadily above average, blossoming may occur earlier than average. Where the number remains, other factors may affect blossom time, including soil temperature and moisture, as well as sunshine. For example, a great number of cloudy days may keep soil temperatures colder than average and delay the blossom date. However, a large number of cloudy nights may also result in higher temperatures at night and affect the overall daily average temperature. As a result, a number of small factors can have significant impact on blooming dates. When the date to the bloom gets close, experts examine the state of the buds and the weather forecast to make a final call. Search for location/city.
Raindrop, truck top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.